Hello again, Drama Llamas. We're back at it with Stanislavski System in part 4, and we're talking about the actor's physical apparatus, meaning what you physically have that is you. So all of this is about creating a character, so an actor must make sure that in creating a character they do not lose a single nuance or any physical or psychological means which help to access their inner experience. Stanislavski said that the imperfection in the external expression of a role can disfigure a profound concept of the playwright, meaning if you don't have a great outward expression of your character, of your role, then it really hurts the playwright's concept, the playwright's main idea. An actor must use both mental and the physical to create a character and support what the playwright and the director wants. So we're talking, though, about the two physical things that you have, the physical tools of the actor, which, we're going to say our instruments are our body and our voices. An actor's physical actions are your materials. Actors must use both the body and the voice, their instruments, to create the character as well as their mind. So we're going to talk about the voice first, and not that program where they sing. So your tool of the voice. As part of the actor's instrument, the voice is just as important to hone as our physicality, what we do with our bodies. So you need to work on enunciation, diction, expressive speech, volume, all of those things to make your voice be clearly understood as well as interesting and show emotion and feeling through how you say the words, not just what you say. When an actor has a well-developed respiration, meaning good breathing, clear diction, we can clearly understand you, and a trained voice, they do not have to force anything, but instead will be able to speak naturally and then softly and even whisper to be heard anywhere in the theater. Having a natural, just used to hopping up into that volume takes time and takes effort. It's not something that people are just like magically turn on and that's what their voice is. You have to work at your voice. Vocal warm-ups are very helpful. I suggest creating a warm-up that you do daily, especially before rehearsal, and shows that how you stretch your voice vocally. Do not go into autopilot when you do vocal warm-ups. Usually what happens then is that you're not actually stretching your voice in your mouth. So you need to focus on not just volume, but you want to think about diction. If there's an accent, you want to practice your warm-up in your accent that you're using for the play, and things like that. So a vocal warm-up is super important to create your voice, as well as training your voice daily. I'm not talking about singing, though if you're a musical theater, that is important as well. But doing vocal warm-ups or even working on enunciation daily is very helpful for the actor. All right, our second instrument is the body. This is a little bit bigger because the body is super important. Know your body. Get to know your own natural movements and what your body can and cannot do. It's so important to know what you can and cannot do because you don't want to push yourself. Use your body. Use your body to show off the internal, what you're feeling inside, or what the character's feeling inside, outside. Then that way it's expressed what you're having internally to the audience. And then also listen to your body. Again, I said this kind of before, know your physical limits and when you might need a break from physical activities. Hydrate and intake what you need. So if, say, you do a full musical rehearsal, but you didn't drink any water or have any food like all day, then you need to listen to your body and do those things and take care of your body. So physicality, Stanislavski demands that the actor must also work on rhythm, gesture, acrobatics, and historical ceremonies. When we say historical ceremonies, we're not necessarily talking about like any sort of like religious thing or anything like that, though that may be something that may be in a play. We're talking about the way people historically in different societies and time periods would physically move, their gestures, how they would hold themselves if they had like a certain way they moved and talked and things like that. So you need to know these things. There's a certain class in college that you can take called Periods and Styles, and that's a lot of this physicality from different time periods, how the Greek theater would move as opposed to a more modern. Only the mastery of physical technique will assure the necessary freedom to permit an actor to execute a natural, truthful physical action and give thyself to the experience of the character. Gotta know your body, gotta know the physicality, using things like rhythm, like knowing how to keep a beat, things like that, gesture, how you use your arms and your face, acrobatics. Now that's, to keep your body loose and limber. Sometimes you may need it, etc. All right. So this is something that's super important for your body and something that people don't address, which is muscular tension. Muscular tension is the reaction to an audience interference with an actor's execution of a natural physical actions. Meaning, when we're in front of an audience, our body tenses because we are in a heightened state and our body will naturally tense. So it's kind of like our enemy. We can't, because we're not trying to, none of our characters, not always, but a lot of our characters aren't physically tense. They're in their own home, they're in their own body, they're in their own skin, and so we have to learn how to release it. An actor must have a responsive body, and control over his or her muscular tension hinders this. So like if you don't have control over, letting go of that tension in your body to be the character, you're not going to respond naturally in the moment with the other characters and what's going on in the play. Actors need to work on finding things to help relieve tension, like daily yoga, stretches, meditation, concentration exercises, anything to help kind of loosen that. Concentration on specific thoughts and gestures of the body will help also eliminate tension. Posture and gesture. Improve posture to make movement supple and graceful and finished. Meaning, I know that we're all like hunched over at our computers or hunched over a phone or something like that. We need to learn to stand up and sit properly so that our bodies are just a lot more easy with movement. Posture helps create character gestures. So if you think you have to figure out like what your physical character's like, depending, age and like society and time period, the way they stand creates and helps you create gestures that fit the character. A gesture must reflect the inner, so what's going on internally in their brain. It will then become a purposeful, logical, and truthful movement. So get your good posture so that you can have the posture of the character to help make the physical gestures feel more logical and purposeful for your actual character. So this is also something, I know it's not you have control over, but you have control over your body in this. So costumes is something really big. An actor must have control over their voice and body and movement in costumes. Costumes are there to help enhance, what your physically character looks like, but the way you hold yourself in costumes also tells us a lot. The movement in putting on costumes is a great psychological significance for an actor. I know that when I'm directing, I notice when actors get their costumes, they physically embody that character more. And as much as we would love to have y'all's costumes done for you earlier, it's just feasibly not possible. So you have to think about that as well. If you're in a show where you have to wear a long dress, I would always ask the director or the costumer if you could get a rehearsal skirt. That way you can start learning how to use your body within the confines of the costumes. And as soon as you know what shoes you're wearing for a show, you need to start practicing in those to help you better embody that character through what they're wearing. You don't want to get to show week and your director's like, you're going to be in heels and you haven't practiced your show in heels at all. It really does change you. Or dress shoes for men, or some specialty boots or something like that. So you have to really think about how costume physically changes you. So we've got our two, voice and body, and now we have to think about like, what do we do with it at rehearsal? As As a creative artistic force, you do not differ from pianists and singers. You must practice every day. Stanislavski said this to his actors. He said that quote. So you, even if you're not in rehearsals, even if you don't have a show, you need to be practicing your voice and body. It's super important when you're doing a show and doing rehearsals that you also practice that. Practice the art of getting your voice prepared, exercising your body to prepare it for a show. The actor's body and voice must be cultivated and trained to be able to express externally, instantly, and precisely the delicate inner expertise of the creative process. So you got to be able to train your body and your voice to let out that character. Actors should set up a practice to help better themselves. I would suggest doing daily practices to help your body work for you, meaning some sort of workout. Even if it's a simple 10-minute yoga stretch every day, your body's going to help you later with that. Or a walk. Just get up and do something to physically stretch and push your body a little further. Also, set up a warm-up for rehearsals to relieve those things like muscular tension, etc. And also, don't forget to do these things for your voice. You not only are working your body, but you also have to work your vocal cords and get your voice warmed up as well for rehearsals and every day. Thanks, Drama Llamas. Just remember that you need to work your body and your voice to create a believable character and have a good performance. And remember that it's not just working in rehearsal to make you a better actor. Later, llamas!